All right, few minutes ago, they teased the next balance patch, and the surprise thing is they're giving us wild nerfs, not just standard nerfs. The most exciting thing about this is I'm happy to see them not leave wild out of the balance patches. We got a balance patch 2 weeks after expansion launch, and we also got the nerf to disco lock 2 weeks after the expansion was announced. So far we've got like within 2 months or 1 month we've got wild patches. This is a huge improvement over their philosophy and like their behavior towards wild. So let's see these changes. For standard, as expected, they're nerfing MB Druid and they're nerfing Herald Shaman. They're buffing Control Priest and Herald Rogue and Herald DK. Now, I feel like Herald Rogue did not need the buff, but that card was the most underwhelming one, same as this one. So both Herald DK and Herald Rogue were doing okay. It's just, I feel like they didn't need the buffs more than the fact that we just needed to nerf Druid. But right now, I'm still happy that they're buffing the Technician, because the Technician was 4 mana to 5 or something and didn't do that much. I think they're just gonna increase it to 3, reduce it to 3 mana or increase the attack. Control Priest is getting buffed for Wild. Now, many of us are surprised at nerfing Astral Communion Druid. For me, I didn't mind this deck. I did mind Nazmani Priest, and that is getting nerfed. I did not mind Hostage Mage as much as I minded, Quest DH and Quest Hunter and Quest Warlock. But I'm happy for these two nerfs. I'm just confused at the nerf here. Like, my reaction is, this is a great nerf, this is a great nerf, this is what the hell. Astral Communion did not feel annoying, except like when they high roll it on turn 1. Some of them were actually crazy to coin, innervate, and then dredge to get the Astral Communion and get it turn 1. That was like one of the high rolls, or get it on turn 2. Other than that, I did not mind Astral Communion. It was really okay deck compared to the Wild Powerhouse. Like, Astral Communion would definitely be nerfed if it was the standard deck, for sure. That would be too OP. But in Wild, it's not as cancerous as Quest DH, Quest Seedlock, or Quest Odd Hunter. However, these decks, the other 3 decks I was bothered by questline were Hostage, Nazmani, and Borlock. I'm happy that Nazmani is getting nerfed. That one was needed for like a while ago. Romath, I don't know how they'll nerf Romath. Like, when you look at him, the only plausible change here would be change him to 10 mana, but then he would still be played. It's just slower, right? I don't know how 10 mana would affect the Hostage Mage players. They already run like some coins and biscuits. I don't know. But yeah, the only thing we know for sure right now is that Astral Communion will probably become 5 mana. I think they're increasing Astral Communion to 5 mana. Otherwise, they know they would be killing the deck that way if they return it to 6 mana. Nazmani is gonna get the eco treatment, meaning it will die. Thank God. That deck like plagued Wild for a whole year, and it was super annoying to face against. But yeah, so Nazmani will probably die and get the eco treatment. Hostage Mage will just get slower. Astral Communion will not die. I think it will just become 5 mana. Both of these will get mana. This will get eco treatment, aka you can only play, I don't know. I forgot what is the eco treatment. Somebody remind me what it is. But so far, I'm happy about this. Like, the main thing I'm happy is Wild is getting nerfs. We got, like, again, when they announced the expansion, I was like, where are the Wild reverts? Then they surprised us 2 weeks after. I was like, I'm not excited for this expansion. Where are the Wild reverts? No nerfs. Then they nerfed Disco Lock and did some reverts and showed us what they're reverting. Even though the reverts were not that impactful, in my opinion, this time. They were weak compared to other reverts that we had in the past. Here, we get 2 weeks into the expansion, we get Wild nerfs. This is a huge improvement over the philosophy and behavior towards Wild players and fans. But that's pretty much... And they also have some Battlegrounds changes. I don't play Battlegrounds that much. I've started playing it more recently. So, yeah. Romath will become 10 mana. Lightspeed will get the eco treatment. This will become 5 mana, I think. 5 mana. But, again, most of us don't think... Like, I even commented here, this was me commenting, of all the things to get nerfed, Astral Communion was not in my bingo sheet. So I gotta ask, what ludicrously broken thing was Astral Communion doing to Wild that required a nerf? The Big Druid is a tier 1-2 deck, however, most Wild players agree that it did not need a nerf. The only toxic interaction was doing it as soon as turn 1 or 2 with innervates and coins. Other than that, most control decks had enough time to deal with it. I'm happy by the fact that they're giving more Wild nerfs and not making us wait a few months. They give us a nerf 2 weeks after the expansion announcement and now 2 weeks after the expansion release, which is a great improvement, and happy to see more Wild care rather than not caring about Wild fans. But again, the other 2 nerfs are good. Hostage Mage and Nazmani Priest were all annoying, boring decks, so happy to see those nerfed. I don't like the Astral Big druid nerf. That's my thoughts about this whole patch. We're getting it in 2 days, rather like 1 day and some few hours. It arrives on April 2. There you go. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'm hyped for the next season. We'll see how this changes. Hyped is an overstatement, though, for wild rock, paper, scissors and coin flip matches. But yeah, you get the idea.